Hello, kind people of YouTube. If you're waiting for my regular news and market update and discussion video, that is coming later today. I just figured I would make a separate video about this. It doesn't really fit into news as well as all the other stuff, and I feel it's important enough to have its own video. Now, Weiss Ratings on October 31st released a new report with ratings for 111 cryptocurrencies, where they picked only four out of the 111 cryptocurrencies that they looked at, which they would consider a buy. And I want to just read out the post on their own website about this. Now, if you don't know who Weiss cryptocurrency ratings are, Weiss is an established ratings company in traditional finance. They go back a long time. They're very influential. Institutional investors and people with a lot of money listen when Weiss ratings give ratings to investments. Generally what they do is they give a letter grade to different stocks and bonds and investment options, and now they do the same for cryptocurrencies. They have started a while ago as Weiss cryptocurrency ratings, and every now and then they're in the news because they released new ratings or new reports. And this one is titled 4 Buy-Rated Cryptocurrencies, 5 Questions About Weiss Crypto Ratings. And I'm just going to read out this entire little blog post and then we're going to talk about it. It is of course linked in the description if you want to read it for yourself. I feel like this has kind of gone under the radar for a couple of days, but it's actually pretty big. You'll see why when we actually read through it. And actually from the headline you can probably tell they picked only four that they would consider buys, and everything else they do not suggest people buy. Weiss Ratings has the latest data on more than 3,000 cryptocurrencies and tokens. Among them, we issue grades on 111 plus many more on deck. But only 4 currently merit a rating that's equivalent to a buy, B- or better. We'll name those 4 in just a moment, but first let us address some of the most frequently asked questions about our ratings. Question number 1. How do you rate cryptocurrencies? We have developed 4 separate computer models, each designed with a unique purpose. Our technology model focuses on the blockchain technology to evaluate its potential for performance. What kind of speeds could it run at? How would it scale? How advanced is its governance? How does it deal with energy consumption? Can smart contracts be used on the ledger? How flexible can it be upgraded? What other unique features does it have? Mobile phone technology provides a good metaphor, like comparing specs on speed, screen resolution, battery life, and so on. So what this is essentially they have a computer algorithm here that takes all of these things into account and gives a rating based on it. Our adoption model measures performance in the real world. What are the actual transaction speeds and costs? How decentralized is the network? How big is the developer community? How popular is the project? Are people using it? And much more. Our investment risk model evaluates volatility and downside price risk. Essentially, it seeks to answer the question, how much money can I lose? And the investment reward model deals with the upside potential, how much money can I make? So you see here, this is a very comprehensive look at cryptocurrencies that it's pretty much an unbiased look at the technology. They just enter the facts about the cryptocurrency, the data into an algorithm, and just deal with the results they get based on that. Now, of course, nothing is ever completely unbiased, but this is a very good way on cutting down the bias in a significant way. Combining the results of all 4 models, we arrive at a final grade from A to E. Any grade of B- or better is the equivalent of a buy, D+ or lower is sell, and C implies no action, hold if you already own it, avoid if you don't. Question number 2. Why don't you rate all cryptocurrencies? The overwhelming majority of what many people call cryptocurrencies are really nothing of the kind. They're strictly utility tokens, typically issued by a startup company or project for very limited purposes. In some respects, utility tokens are similar to Chuck E. Cheese coins or American airline advantage points. Beyond exchanging them for goods or services with the merchant who issued them, there's not much more you can do with them. And as investments, they suck. They give you no participation in the company's success, they are likely to go down in value as the company becomes more efficient, seeks to get its product out to a broader audience, and cuts its prices. Whereas they offer none of the rights that you'd expect as a shareholder. So this is very much a comparison to a stock, where you would be buying a similar product but you have a share in the company, you get some of their profits in dividends. With the cards stacked so heavily against investors, we are not ready to rate them at this time. In most cases, even rewarding them low grades might be too generous. Meanwhile, among the hundreds of distributed ledger projects, true cryptocurrencies, that exist, many have not yet seen the light of day. They're like wannabe moths and butterflies sitting in a cocoon. Virtually no one owns or uses them, and that means there's very little adoption data for us to measure. Result, we will look at them more closely in the future, but right now we cover strictly DLT protocols that have a minimal level of adoption. Question number 3. Why is Bitcoin still just a C+? And here you notice now, Bitcoin is not included in the 4 coins that they consider a buy, as C+ is a hold or avoid, not a buy. And their argument here, poor risk-reward metrics, outdated technology, including slow transaction speeds, difficulty in scaling, weak governance, and more. Much of this could improve as the Lightning Network rolls out, but that could take a little more time. And they have a full article about that if you want to read it, where they go deeper into their reasoning. And question 4, why don't any cryptocurrencies get a rating of A? And I've seen a lot of criticism about this from the crypto world, about their ratings. But I think they have pretty compelling reasons for that, and that is they need to think about the risk potential, and here they go into the actual reasons. There are 2 reasons it's difficult for cryptocurrencies to achieve an A in the current environment. First, because the entire asset class is still very risky for investors, and second, because it's currently transitioning from legacy coins like Bitcoin to next-gen coins like EOS. Here's the dilemma. Yes, our model recognizes that Bitcoin has excellent adoption, but its technology is far behind coins like EOS. And yes, the model says EOS has excellent technology, but it needs more time to catch up with Bitcoin's adoption. In our rating models, to get an A, coins like Bitcoin and EOS would need both excellent technology and excellent adoption. Right now, each one has one factor linked, but not the other. And you have to keep in mind here, they are talking to institutional investors here, not people who invest primarily or only in cryptocurrency. They are talking to people who have a diversified investment portfolio with millions and millions, sometimes billions invested, either for a corporation or for an individual. These are people who want very safe, very secure, very low risk investments. And if something is high risk, it needs to be really offset by a lot of stuff going forward. So achieving an A, especially for cryptocurrencies who are very volatile and who are still early in their history, that is incredibly hard. With time, we will probably see cryptocurrencies reach that level. And here's the final question. What are the coins that get a B- or better? What are the coins that Weiss Ratings says are a buy? And those are only 4, and those are XRP, Stellar, EOS, and Cardano. All 4 tokens that I talk about a lot on the channel that I'm also personally a supporter of. But I'm very happy that they come to a similar conclusion as I did here, that these are very good investments, that these have high potential. Let's read what they're actually saying here. These are among the few that are beginning to put it all together, the advanced tech and adoption in the real world. They're not all the way there yet, but they're making good progress. XRP and Stellar are appealing to businesses and other organizations, mainly for speedy financial transfers. In contrast, EOS and Cardano are designed more as virtual communities, with each participant empowered to influence the future directions of the project, spanning a broad range of applications. As we've explained from the outset, these 4 have technology that's built for excellence and fully capable of achieving their specific goals, and at the same time they're enjoying rapidly improving adoption metrics, especially during the past 10 months. Think about that, they've made remarkable progress during a period of massive investor losses, brought reputational damage to the industry, and worse. So imagine what their market performance could be like once the crypto markets firm up and investors' interest returns in a big way. And then it's just best Martin and Juan, or Joan. I'm always bad with names in languages I don't speak. Martin, of course, is the CEO, I believe, of Weiss Ratings. This is Martin D. Weiss, PhD. I believe in a common economist, but don't quote me on that. But here we have it. We have one of the most trusted rating firms, and the only established established traditional finance ratings firm who even really looks at cryptocurrencies, saying there are 4 coins to buy and everything else is either an avoid or a sell. And the 4 it suggests you buy are XRP, Stellar, EOS, and Cardano. Now this is very much in line with my own suggestions, and if you've been watching the channel for a while you know that. I recently made a top 10 cryptocurrencies to buy video. I included all 4 of these in my selections there. I think they all have incredible technology, they all have very good teams behind them, they all have real use cases and a a strong community, and they are making strides towards adoption, especially when we're talking about XRP. We have news almost every day that Ripple, the company behind XRP, has made some kind of new partnership, that another company is planning to use XRP, the XRP token, using, for instance, the XRapid technology. And with Stellar also, we have a big collaboration with IBM. EOS is having a lot of development on top of it right now, and Cardano is also making strides in improving its platform. Now, where I don't fully agree is calling every other cryptocurrency either a, oh my god, what did they actually call it? I'm sorry, here. I would not call everything else a hold, avoid, or sell. I think that goes a bit too far, but you have to keep in mind here, once again, who they're talking to. They're not talking to a crypto crowd, they are talking to a traditional investor, a big money crowd, where most of the other cryptocurrencies, they're either too young, or they're too risky, or there's too many open questions around them yet that they can't quite recommend buying them yet. Now, I think if you have a diversified crypto portfolio, you want more than just these 4 coins in them. But if you have a general investment portfolio and only a small part of it is crypto, I think long-term, these 4 are probably your best bet. And I fully agree with them there. And I think the factors they look at here are completely valid, and their assessment is as well. I'm very happy they've come to a similar conclusion here as I have. Now, once again, let me reiterate, this does not mean all the other cryptocurrencies, especially all the utility tokens that they didn't really look at all. That doesn't mean those aren't worthwhile projects or good investments. It just means that currently, based on their algorithms, based on their standards, they can't quite tell traditional investors, institutional investors, big money to buy them. They think these are the coins with massive future potential, who will have incredible profits for investors, who will go up in value significantly. And at least with this selection, these are probably the 4 tokens that I would have also picked. If you told me to pick exactly 4 tokens, these are probably the ones that I would have picked. So very, very good selection here from Weiss Cryptocurrency Ratings. And with that, what do you guys think? Is there something they missed out here? Like I said, I think it's a very good selection. And with that, I'm going to end this video. My normal regular news update video is coming soon, later today. If you're already subscribed to my channel, you know what that is. If you're not, I talk about crypto news. I go through the markets, look at all the major news stories of the day, and then I talk about them for like half an hour. That happens once a day, that's coming later today, so subscribe if you haven't already. And the link to this article is in the description, as well as ways to support this channel if you feel so inclined, and my social media pages. Thanks for watching, and I'll be with you guys with another video later.